I mean, like I get why people like it. It's a hard league to root for because I do think out of all the leagues, it is maybe the least up to the times. It's like
I think that MLB is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You think?
I think that there are more. Yes, I think that there are more progressive moments inside of the NFL. Even the little show of like putting "choose love" or "fight hate" or "end racism" on the back of their helmets. The MLB, it's just like one of those things where they're like, today we're gonna put a rainbow on your sleeve, and all of the players being like, we don't want that. I will not be wearing that jersey. And the MLB being like, okay, you don't have to.
Yeah, I guess.
Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of either.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either.
Baseball, I find slow and boring, but I will go to any game because that part's fun. Football, I have moral qualms about it, which you and I have discussed. And I respect anyone that's a fan of it. And also, like we discussed last week, I didn't grow up with football being on.
Which
like
is
we just
huge.
didn't watch it.
That's a big thing because I do think that football fandom starts young for a lot of
really
people.
young.
And so, including for myself, like, it's like actually such an ingrained part of my life that watching football, while it's an obviously violent sport, I find so soothing. And really talking about the art of sports, like broadcasting sports, the NFL is doing a better job than most leagues. Like the way that the majority of the screen is on this beautiful bright green grass, which gives people a sense of like peace and happiness while they're watching this sport. You know what I mean? Like it's a really different kind of experience when you watch like a Boise game, which is that college team that their field is blue, and you kind of do feel this like antagonism. And I think the NFL is getting this down to a science where you're watching this, but you're not feeling the total brutalism all the time, especially because they've made a lot of things that were once like specifically in the 80s and 90s like applauded are now illegal. And you're not allowed to go direct head to head. Like there's just so many more rules than there used to be. They even changed the punt return. There are different rules now to kind of protect the receiver. And they've got the new Guardian caps because you had texted me asking about helmets. They've got these like soft caps that players can opt into wearing that kind of reduce the impact. So it's reducing concussions.
But do players feel empowered to wear them? I feel like they feel like almost embarrassed to wear those.
But that's a problem for me with masculinity.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because there are players that are currently wearing them, and those are the players that I assume have like the biggest dicks. And there are plenty of players who don't want to wear it because they don't want to be thought of as soft.
Yeah.
And to me, these are things that somebody's got to be brave.
Yeah.
But if you are given an option to protect yourself and you choose not to because of fragile masculinity, that's not my business as a sports lover.
I mean, very true.
Still such a... go ahead.
No, I mean, I said, like, Fight will come in here and make a case that I understand for football, and I still, I still don't engage, but, yeah, I mean, as a nation, we're obsessed with it. I mean, I do feel the militarization, like, anytime you watch it, the amount of military ads are just insane. And the love our troops of it all, which support our troops, is very hard for me to wrap my mind around. It so often feels like a propaganda machine. Yes, they figured out exactly how to do it and you're getting these good endorphins, but at what cost? Like, what are we paying attention to in the game and the sport of it all?
Well, I don't think it's about like pros and cons of like watching when you're talking about the art of it. You're just like, you like game recognized game, quite literally here. It's like, it is a beautiful thing to watch. And the militarization, you're totally right. Like, it is a propaganda machine. A lot of the first time I saw a Trump ad was watching an NFL game.
We need to infiltrate.
I was just not in any algorithm to receive that one that it's like, it's not they, them, it's for you, or whatever the fuck it was. But the first time I saw that, like, specifically anti-queer ad was during an NFL game, last season.
Yeah.
I think the thing I have the hardest with the NFL, I mean, besides, like, with the MLB, I do think the NFL is a little less progressive in that like it's harder on these athletes' bodies, and it is like they do not care about their athletes as much post the game.
Yeah.
There were a lot of like lawsuits and like it wasn't. I read recently that they used to do, the NFL used to do a horrific thing that they wouldn't, like the majority of the NFL is black men playing and they're putting their bodies on the line, and they were giving payouts. They were giving less payouts to black athletes who were suing for like essentially like workers' compensation because they were doing this thing called race norming, and they just outlawed it in 2021.
Jesus
So for
Christ.
me, it's just like the NFL is just so it does little things to try to take care, but like it doesn't have. It has much more of a like physical and mental post the athletes versus like something like a soccer or like baseball. Like bodies are like wrecked from it, and that's why it's hard for me to like.
Well,
get
baseball, you
excited
can
about.
be a little soft, which is kind of nice. You're kind of standing around quite a bit. You're a little soft in baseball. But so I'm not the biggest fan of football. I don't watch, I don't engage. But I think for people who do love it, it is important to kind of vocally love it. If you love that sport, to show the true range of sports fans that exist and how queer their fan base is, definitely how dykey their fan base can be, like all of it, gay men, like every type of person loves football, and they really do. And, you know, I do my thing because I'm not a fan of the game, but if you are a fan, I think it's important to say, I am a fan, and there are ways that this game and this sport could be so much better.
Yeah.
Could be safer. Honestly, Dems, we just need to get a commercial on during any football game. That would be helpful.
Yeah, I didn't see one Biden ad. I didn't see one Kamala ad. Like, just an absolute.
We're not doing enough, Dems.
No, we are not. doing enough.
No, I'm thinking we should start a new party.
I think we should start a new party.
Us in this room.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just a party.
it is.
While the world burns, we pour.